coming from a non-disclosed location near Nashville, Tennessee, we bring the Hump Day Hombres. With your host will be Wally Parks. Well, good morning, y'all. All you Hump Day Hombres. So I'm up at a place in Nashville known as Love Circle, and this is Love Hill. And so I came up here today to do some of my taking this morning to send out to y'all. I'm hoping y'all having a good day. I'm going to be doing a little clip here on some of my parks today, and some of it's tied into some other parks, but it's good to see y'all today. So the first thing that we'll be starting off today is some awareness things that we're doing, and one of them is around the awareness of stroke signs. I'm going to be doing that with y'all today. I've actually experienced a couple of people that have experienced that in their life, and it's a real common problem for people that have strokes, and so I want to be able to share some information, because I probably wasn't even aware of some of everything that I'll be sharing today. Also have with me today, I've got Dave Nooe, who is our one of our head people from Charlieville. He's going to share about their program and that. So we've got a little interview, and then I'm doing this up here. I'm going to share a little bit about up here, some pictures, and then we've got Tennessee Red Berry Tails. And so what I'm doing today is really just kind of one of my talking points that I like to bring back. It's sharing about someplace here in Nashville for the weekend. And I think coming up here might be a fun thing to do. Come up on a Friday, Saturday, or Sundays. They say sometimes they even do movies out here. And so it's a neat little place. It doesn't cost you nothing to come here. Ain't that great? Just about everything down inside that city right there will cost you someplace to sit. Come up here, do it for free. And you get a view of the whole thing. So anyway, it's good to hear from you all and see you today, and we'll start the show. Good morning. Today we're going to bring an episode about something that's important to many folks. I've experienced it twice with two close friends, and so I'd like to share a little bit of information. We're right now at an emergency room, local hospitals, and hopefully that helps provide some background for what we're going to talk about. Thank you. I'd like to share today about awareness of stroke signs. As I mentioned in the opening shot, that I just recently had a good friend have a stroke. Thankfully, was in quickly to the hospital in about 3 hours of having a stroke. So that helps. Let me share a little bit of information about this stuff. Awareness of stroke signs. Heart attacks and stroke are medical emergencies requiring immediate attention. Recognizing the warning signs can be a life-saving event. Common heart attack symptoms include chest pain or discomfort, shortness of breath, and pain or discomfort in other areas of the upper body, which typically are like in the arms, underneath the chest, on the sides. Stroke symptoms often involve sudden numbness or weakness, especially on one side of the face, an arm or leg, as well as sudden confusion, trouble speaking, or vision problems. Prompt recognition and action can significantly improve outcome. The heart attack warning signs. Chest pain or discomfort. This can feel like pressure, squeeze, fullness, or pain in the center of the chest, and may last for more than a few minutes or come and go. The pain or discomfort in other areas of the upper body. This can include pain or discomfort in one or both arms, the back, the neck, your jaw, or stomach. Page 2 here. Got my glue a little bit, or the water down there, got a little wet. Shortness of breath. This can occur with or without chest discomfort. Other symptoms: breaking out in a cold sweat, nausea, or lightheadedness. Stroke warning signs: sudden numbness or weakness. This can affect the face, arm, or leg, particularly on one side of the body. Sudden confusion, trouble speaking or understanding. This includes slurred speech or difficult finding the right words. I have that problem, as you can see. Sudden trouble seeing. This can be in one or both eyes. Sudden trouble walking. This can involve dizziness, loss of balance, or coordination. Sudden severe headache with no known cause. This can be a sign of a stroke. It's crucial to remember the acronym F.A.S.T. F-A-S-T. This can help you recognize the signs of a sudden stroke. F.A.S.T. starts with the letter F, saying face drooping. Does one side of the face loop, face drop, or is it not? Like they might kind of have a face like this. I might look like that all the time, but one side kind of just droops down like that, or there might be a numbness going on. Back. Up here, arm. The arm weakness, is one arm weak, or is it weak or numb? That can happen as well, so you want to watch out for that. Speech. Speech difficulty. Is speech slurred, or are they unable to speak? And then time to call. The T stands for time to call 911. If you see any of these signs, calling emergency services immediately, or get to an emergency room immediately. If you or someone you know experiences any of these symptoms, even if they're mild or go away, seek immediate medical attention. Time is critical in both heart attacks and strokes, and early treatment can greatly improve the chances of a full recovery. So, without sharing any personal information, my recent friend that had this problem, really was not going to get that help. A family member said, let's go to the emergency room. Same thing happened with the other one. However, they were missed that opportunity to get emergency help quickly, and so it was several hours later before they did that. Now, I don't know which causes which. I mean, this one person, they don't seem to be having real severe problems. Well, I won't say they're not having severe problems. Maybe they are. But the other person that I know from several years ago had a strong stroke. It took years before, in my mind, really recovered. And so I kind of see that difference that happened. But anyway, I wanted to share this today just to remind people of things like F.A.S.T, which stands for F for face drooping, A for arm weakness, S for speech difficulty, and T, time to get call help right away. So really 3 main things that you want to take a look at. And it could just be one of them. It may not be all 3 of them at the same time. So, but there could be an event that's happened, and therefore it could be one of all 3 of those: the face drooping, arm weakness, or the speech difficulty. Hope that's helpful to people. I like to try and share those kinds of things with folks so that they're aware of them. Like I say, I'm kind of glad it happened at a time that reminds me of about it, so I want to share that with other folks. Thank you. Hey everybody! Now is our time. Charlieville. I'll bring to you Dave Nooe, who's a close friend of mine, and he's going to share some good information for you all about the program that he works with. And it's close to his heart, his family heart. So let's hear from David today and hear what he has to say. Thank you, Dave. All right. I want to thank you all for being here today with me. I have one of our special
Are we
artists.
rolling?
Yeah, we're
Oh,
rolling.
my bad. Okay.
No, I'll edit it all down.
Okay.
I'm an edit man. I do that.
We're rolling. All right.
We're rolling, man.
Sit up straight, Dave.
No, you're good. Just relax and be cool. Be you. All right. So I want to thank you for my friend Dave. And I always have a hard time spelling and even writing your last name.
Nooe.
Nooe.
Yeah.
And
Like Noah's Ark.
Dave Nooe, but it's
Nooe.
spelled differently. It's the thing. You got to remember
There
that.
is an E,
Yeah.
but it's Nooe. Right.
N-O-O-E, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So Dave, and he's here with me today to talk about Charlieville, and I'm going to just let him kind of share a little bit about the background of this program that he, or I don't know, I wouldn't call it a program, I'd say a music life epicenter, happening.
That's great.
So Dave, if you could just share a little bit about Charlieville.
Sure. Well, Charlieville is a registered 501c non-for-profit organization that my wife Jenny Ann and I formed in 2012. And the catalyst for it was when my daughter Charlotte passed away. Her nickname was Charlie, and I always loved the musician Joe Strummer from The Clash. And he had when he passed away, his wife started a foundation called Strummerville.
Okay.
So we got this name, Charlieville. Charlie was Charlotte's nickname. My grandma was from Italy, and she couldn't say Charlotte. She said, Charlie. So she was Charlie. And her band was Charlie and the Cynics. So we started the 501c to provide lessons, instruments, and scholarships to people who couldn't otherwise afford those. And just recently, last couple years, we've gotten into drug and alcohol rehab centers where I'm doing songwriting groups. I'm going up north to, help with things like that. But that's essentially what Charlieville is. It's a 501c for artists and musicians. It's a whole community, as you know. You've been involved a couple of years, and we all get together, and there's lots of love and music and fun.
Yeah. Am I okay to call her Charlie?
Charlie, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Charlotte.
So how old was Charlie when she passed away?
She was just short of her 22nd birthday.
Okay.
And this is Charlieville. Not only acts as a spot where, or a foundation where we can help other people, but it also lifts their spirit.
Yeah.
So
it definitely did this last weekend. I had a great time out there.
It was beautiful.
Cool. All right. So now that's been, you said 2012, so it's been going on 13
years.
13 years now. Wow. Awesome. What are there other things that you think about in terms of? You're doing the annual one. Are there other festivals or times that you get together and do things as part of that, or tell me about that.
We organize. Jenny and I organize two big festivals annually. The one in Wisconsin and the one here. Okay. And both those, Charlieville, the Wisconsin chapter, Charlieville, the Nashville chapter, because that's where Charlotte was from.
On the brochure.
And then every so often somebody will have a Charlieville event,
Mm-hmm.
and then they'll donate the proceeds to our foundation.
Okay.
You know, it's a year-long thing because scholarships go out, and you know, mostly towards the end of spring when school's getting out. But it starts immediately in August, where the scholarships announced, the Charlotte Nooe scholarship.
So when I got here about 4 o'clock, there was a group up here playing on the platform, and there was a fellow playing a guitar, and I heard like some string sounds or something going on in the background. I'm not sure who was playing that, but I talked to the guy afterwards, and I don't know if he's a relative to you, but he's from up in Wisconsin, young kid, probably like 13 or 14, had just started playing guitar.
What's his name? Harmony?
Yeah.
Yeah, Harmony and Addie.
Yeah.
Addie led one of the groups that we give an endowment to up in Wisconsin.
Oh, okay.
A couple years ago, 3 years ago now.
Okay.
And then she met Harmony. Addie came down last year. This is her second year.
Okay.
Harmony's first year.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, they.
Yeah, it was fun to meet them and
yeah, they're good
get
kids.
their background on.
Good kids. They stayed till the very end
All right.
when we were playing
That's
about
better than I
2
could
o'clock in the morning. God bless them. And
Yeah.
they drove up to Cave Country the next day.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find. I'm feeling bad because we have another scholarship, and I know the guy's first name.
Oh, who it's going to?
Yeah, and it's making me feel really bad. I know.
You had so many names on there. Just in the 2.5 hours I was here, I saw, I think 7 or 8 people get up there. And
Eric Matthews. My apologies.
Oh, okay.
The Eric Matthews Scholarship, orchestral scholarship that goes out every year.
And is that here in Nashville?
That one's in Minnesota, Coon
Minnesota.
Rapids, Minnesota.
Okay.
Eric Matthews was another young man that we lost to the music world just when he was about ready to graduate from high school.
Mm-hmm.
And his mother approached me, and I talked to her, so we started a scholarship in his name too.
Mm-hmm.
An orchestral scholarship for students that are going on to study to music, to be educators. And
Oh, okay, cool.
so there's the Eric Matthews Scholarship and the Charlotte Nooe Scholarship.
Okay.
And then we also sponsor lessons.
Mhm.
You didn't get to hear the Guitars Not Guns group. That's a group of 9 kids from the north side up in Nashville, right by Jefferson Street,
Okay.
who are in a real area where there's a lot of gun violence.
Right.
And their families or people that they know have been victims of gun violence. So
Okay.
our goal is to put a guitar in their hands instead of a gun.
Right on.
So that's
Yeah.
something that we're doing right now. And like I said, in addition to the lessons and the scholarships, and then another plan that just came about this year, and I was talking to you about this,
Mhm.
is to get a brick and mortar place where we can provide a venue for people to play
Mhm.
and to have lessons.
Right.
That's been a dream of mine for a while. So.
I totally agree with you on that. That's been a dream of mine out here in Nashville.
I know we kind of clicked on that.
Yeah,
didn't
we
we
did. So, we hope you all will hear more about this in the future.
Yes.
Yeah. I was going to ask you, so both you and your wife Jenny are both very talented people, and you do a lot of things together. Now, a while back, I lost YouTube, Facebook, and so I was at that time I was seeing you guys doing the weekly or so often show
Oh,
that comes
yeah.
on. What can you talk a little bit about? Is that still going on? And yeah,
Jenny,
I don't have access to it now.
Jenny filmed. She was the catalyst for that.
Uh-huh.
A TV show
Right.
called Grow TV.
Grow TV.
And it was amazing. I got to perform with some great musicians, and
Mhm.
Jenny did a fantastic job. She wore a lot of hats in that.
Okay.
And she just decided to take a break, and she is very active in advertising and social media. She's working now. She's working for a place called Neighbor Lily in Germantown.
Okay.
They sell flowers and coffee.
Mm-hmm.
So if you ever get the social media back, you'll see her doing events and things like that for them. So.
All right. Yeah. Okay, let's see. And you've shared with me. This was important to me. So tell me about you were a teacher for the district, right?
Yeah, I still am.
Oh, you still do that?
They hired me at the end of last year.
Is
again.
that right? So tell a little bit about that, like what age groups or what kind of musics?
Well, back in a long time ago, like 1989, 1990, I started teaching, and then I went back and got my licensure to teach. Regular classroom, but the thing was, people were always calling me to teach music because I was writing the songs with the kids. I put out an album of all kids' music.
Right.
And I would come down to, this is when I was living up in Wisconsin, it was right after Charlotte was born. And I came down to Nashville to play a couple times. Every year I'd come down, spring break, and I'd play music and hang out and just loved it here. So one day I went over to the school district and I introduced myself. And, I thought, well, it can't hurt. Well, wouldn't you know, the Friday before school started, a fella named Jay Mick, who was the head of the music department at the time, this would have been 1996, called me up and said, can you get down to Nashville? Do you want to move here on Monday? And it was a Friday. And I packed it up and came down.
Cool.
And this is where I've been ever since. But yeah, I taught for the school system for close to 30 years.
Wow.
A little stint up in Wisconsin where I went up to a little school outside Milwaukee and wrote some musicals for them, which I loved, and then came back here and directed some musicals and did some more writing. But I got rehired by the school system at the end of last year.
Cool.
And I teach at a place called the Web Academy, which is the homeschool kids. They come twice a week to go to regular school.
Okay.
And I teach a class called Blues and Beyond Band, BBB. It's a non-traditional band program, and those kids are great middle school, high schoolers. And, I had a few kids last year, maybe about 12. And this year I noticed my roster, there's about 24 in there. So I'm going to probably have 2 separate groups or something. I don't know what I'm going to do. But I'm teaching a songwriting class over there too.
Awesome.
Heading, like I said, something that Charlieville's getting involved in is, musicians that are in recovery. And I'm heading up to Wisconsin for the Mile of Music Festival. And I am working up there in songwriting groups and in 12-step recovery. I'm leading 12-step recovery meetings up there. So these are all really important things for musicians and writers. It's a foundation not just for musicians, but for musicians and writers.
Right.
Because that Charlotte Nooe scholarship actually is for writing. So they, submit creative writing to win the scholarship.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, we have a limited time today, but I am so happy to have Dave on this show today with me, the Hump Day Hombres.
Hump Day Hombres.
And you'll have to pardon my white legs out here, man. I'll tell you, I gotta get in the sun, man.
Yeah, I don't mind. I'm not even going to show mine because I was just out mowing the lawn.
But I want to thank you again.
Thank you, Wally.
You've been a good friend. And top of all the things he does, he also You know, during times when we're here in town and we have time on a Saturday evening, we've got together to do an open mic night.
Oh yeah, that's
Here
great.
in town,
I love
and
doing those.
kind of host that together, and it's always fun.
We get to play some music together.
Yeah.
Always fun.
I love it, man. Well, thank you so much, and I appreciate you, brother.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Yeah, this is all about, the community and about Charlotte. She was a great musician and songwriter, and Jenny and I are grateful that we could do this. So,
All right.
Thank you.
All right, you got it, man.
All right, Brother Wally.
Hey, good morning. It is now time for Tennessee Red Berry Tales. Maybe to help with the spooky effort today, I did a little bit of trimming on the hair, and well, it wasn't the hair; it was actually on the skin. Got that all cleaned up. Hair's still going good. Still got some spooky. Anyway, I wanted to share the story today from the Tennessee Red Berry Tales, and that is from Bob Galbraith, who sold these books back in 1986 down at Galbraith Market. That's where I found them. So anyway, we got another ghost story today, so I'm going to share that ghost story for you. This one's called Aunt Sally's Prayer Book. Mount Airy is one of the tallest, most famous hills around these parts. It's the source of many kinds of tales. Right on top was the home of Aunt Sally G, a very colorful, mystical lady. So many stories have been told and retold about her. No one knows their origins or her authors. Aunt Sally wasn't jolly. Roly-poly woman. She was a jolly, roly-poly woman, always in a good frame of mind. She was even everybody's good friend and neighbor. But she died, leaving no one heirs and just her well-funded, furnished house. It stood for many years just as Aunt Sally left it. A low frame house made of rough, sawn lumber. It had a breezeway in the middle, separating the sleeping quarters from the cooking and the eating out areas. In the breezeway were always a large number of rocking chairs and an old spinet piano. To the east of the house was a two-room outbuilding, the old slave cabin, which is the only structure still standing today. The house was surrounded by giant beech and hickory trees, so heavy and thick you could barely see your watch to tell them in the middle of the day. The yard was enclosed by a hand-split and paling fence. There was a big front porch, wonderfully relaxed, where you could sit and rock your troubles away. One of my mystic pleasures of the place was to sit on the porch facing east and watch it get daylight. There always seemed to be a driving force that would push the fog under those giant trees. The reddish light from the sun on the fog under those trees produced a ghostly blue mist. If you walked around, this blue mist would seem to follow and settle just above your head. Then it would rise and float off into the north into nothingness. Wow. One bright full moon night, I decided to go up on mountain air and set a spell on the porch and give my favorite rocking chair a working out. I came up the west side of the mountain, which was the steepest and had the thickest bushes. As I came to the paling fence, I started to unlatch the gate. and the bushes came to life. Something let out a spine-tingling scream, hit my hair, and scratched my head. My hair head stood straight up. My feet said, "Run!" And my heart said, "You're dead. You're dead." My legs refused to work, and I shouted, "Lord, help!" Then I saw the culprit fly across the yard, silhouetted in the bluest mist, an old screech owl. Finally, I went up on the road and sat in my big hickory rocker. I decided to enter the house and look around. I walked in Aunt Sally's bedroom. There on her night table was her prayer book. Strange. I'd never noticed it before, yet I'd been there a whole bunch of times. But where could it have come from? Now, where did it come from? I pitched it up and went back out on the porch to see if I could read in the bright moonlight. As I rocked and read, still settling down from my earlier scare, I thought how peaceful Aunt Sally's place really was. Then, out of nowhere, a scarcely audible voice said, "Give me back my prayer book." I jumped up and noticed, nearly hitting the top of the porch, and cried, "What and who?" Again came that whisper, "Give me back my prayer book." My knees went limp, my head fluttered. I began to sweat and feel clammy. I wondered if my time to hit the glory road had come. Now was the time to get out of there, and I sure didn't want to waste any time. So I went through those woods like a rabbit and with a dog chasing me. When I got back to our house, my mother wanted to know what in the world had happened. "Did you see a ghost?" Well, I told her, "Sure did. I'm going to bed." I got off to sleep, but about 2 a.m. I heard a noise in the front yard. I sat up in bed and listened, and lay back down and kind of got half asleep again. Then came the noise again, something rustling, the leaf in the yard. It was closer this time. I pulled the cover close around and my neck and waited. Very plainly I heard, "Give me back my prayer book." Underneath the cover, I went. Then all was quiet. I thought, is it finally over? But the window began to rattle, and that strange blue mist of mountain air appeared in my room, everywhere in the room. And that voice, "Give me back my prayer book." By this time, I was frozen in bed. I couldn't move so much as my big toe. I could feel I was not alone in the bedroom. The board of the floor creaked, and again that voice, "Give me my prayer book." I still could not mean or let out a sound. Then I felt my cover begin to move at the feet of my bed. Something was taking away all of the protection I had in my covers. There was pressure on the side of the bed like someone walking. I could feel the weight across the bed. It came right across my chest screen. "Give me my prayer book." I was so scared I passed out. Wow. So when I roused up, the roof was lit up with that weird blue mist of Mount Airy, and that voice told me again, "Give me back my prayer book." I whispered, "Where do you want it?" The mist disappeared. Everything got quiet, and I knew I had to take the book back to Aunt Sally's house. I dressed and made my way up the mountain through the woods to the gate in the paling fence. I thought, if if that old owl hits me this time, I'll die. Tingling up and down my backbone, I finally got to the front porch. There sat the old rocker, flopped down and mopped his sweet form and my brow. The moon was still shone bright despite the mist. Since I had returned the prayer book, I felt I deserved to read from it, turning to the 23rd Psalm. I started, "The Lord is my shepherd." Floorboards creaked with footsteps in the breeze. Word came out of the blue mist asking, "What are you reading?" The 23rd Psalm, I managed to reply. "Do you believe it?" "Yes, I do," was my quiet answer. The voice began to laugh for the first time. I recognized it as Aunt Sally's. She spoke once more. "If you will read it and believe it, then you may have my prayer book. Goodbye." The door creaked again, and I saw the louvered doors open at the end of the breezeway. The blue mist moved rapidly in the end of the road and disappeared. Never heard from Aunt Sally again, but I still have and read the old prayer book to this day. Wow, what a story. Well, I guess it took some effort for that person to learn some scriptures, I guess. So, anyway, thank you for listening in, and we'll do our closing simple today. Closing simple, our closing in today. How's that? All right, thank you for listening in. So, like I shared today, we're up on top of Love Circle, just off of main highway here in Nashville. And I'm going to take you around and just give you a view from the top of Love Mountain. Got some kinds of work around this building here, or things that they use around here for I don't know what all. But here we have a view looking down a little bit towards the south east. I'll zoom in on the camera a little bit so you can see. Goes out that way. Probably off in the distance is airport out, kind of going out in that direction. And we'll come on back this way on the side of the hill. And this is the area that gets kind of the big view a lot of the city. You can see off here in the distance, you'll be able to see, what we call the Batman building. That's down right off of about a block and a half off of Broadway. Oh, there we go. Now I got it. There's a lot of construction going on around here. Somebody told me that they're changing the main name of bird here in Tennessee is going to be a crane, because there's just so many cranes going on. That tower building right there is part of Vanderbilt, and they just finished it recently, but it's got an interesting design and way they built that, looking like an older building. I think it has, I may be wrong, but I think it has a housing inside of there. So we'll go out this way. You can see the sun is already above at what we call East Nashville. On the other side of all those tall buildings is a lot of housing over there. So we're just not very far at all from a lot of building. Let's see what that building is down there. Can't know if I can read that. What did it say? Oh, Vanderbilt. Yeah, that's part of Vanderbilt right there. I'm not very good at remembering names of places, but like I said, just probably not even a half a mile from here, a quarter mile from here is like one of the major roads that goes by park. It goes around over here. I'll go around here and give you a view of our beautiful sea mountain, or not sea mountains, they're beautiful, I don't know if you call them mountains, maybe hills that we have around here. This is off a little bit more. Oh, look at this fella right here. Good morning. How you doing there? Yeah? Okay. We see ya. We see your number. You have a good day up there. So this is going off to the west side. Where I live is probably, you can't see from here, but those trees would block the view of that. That's the north side going towards Goodlettsville. You can see a little bit of mist off the river way in the distance, and that's probably along the Cumberland River out there. Might have some fog on it this morning. And then again, that's on the west side area, west-south. We go back this way here, west-south. Now we're more moving in a south direction out that way from here. And it just comes on back around the other way. So anyway, like I said earlier, come on up here and have a visit. You can just look it up quite easily on internet or wherever. I just typed it in the map, said Love Circle, and it brought me right here. So I hope you all are having a great day. Thanks for coming and joining us with the Hump Day Hombres. And again, you can see me on Union Hill Productions, Wally Parks. You can find the rest of my episodes that I do of this, and some older stuff I do of some music that I recorded and left on there. But anyway, thank you for joining us. I hope you have a good day.